What's up, everyone? It is the Stumptown after show on AfterBuzz TV. Like I said, it's the season premiere. We're talking episode 1. Forget it, Dex. It's Stumptown. I'm your host, Ollie Drennan. I'm joined by an amazing, fantastic co-host who I think is perfect for me to be a co-host because Chae Jones, let me just say, you are a huge Veronica Mars fan, right?
That is very true.
Right. And so this is up your alley.
It is. This is because Veronica Mars is always when I was in high school. So now that I am officially an adult,
right?
Stumptown is going to be that thing for adults now,
right?
Which oh my gosh, it was so great.
I'm officially an adult too,
quote unquote, officially an adult.
No.
Adulting is hard.
Yeah, it really sucks, but we can see through Dex that it's also very hard as you get older and have a brother, and going through the motions. It's just ridiculous.
Especially when you gamble your money away.
Right. We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it, but we have so much to talk about. We got to talk about Dex, get to know her a little bit. We have a special segment, right? Chae been cooking up all day. She's still ready for it. We got, obviously we have our predictions. We got some news, and also stay tuned because we have a very special top 3. But more on that later. Chae, you got to help me out with initial thoughts on this episode. I didn't know I knew I was going to like this show, but I didn't know I was going to like it as much as I did after watching that with you. So what are your initial thoughts going through your head right now?
My overall thoughts are this was such a great first episode, great pilot for a show that is changing gender roles and in a good way.
Right.
Because there are parts of her character where you're like, which is something a guy would do normally, but she has those like the qualities that you would see in a guy character where he's like, oh, he slept with somebody but doesn't remember your name, but he's like, oh yeah, like Mary. Oh, you mean Maria? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but can I get in? That's all I still want to get to my destination. I love the gender role reversal that's happening in the show. I think that's so amazing, especially in today's climate.
Right.
And I think we need shows like this. And also, it's proof that I don't have to be, quote unquote, the girly girl or overly feminine to still be a woman. Mm-hmm. We come in many different personality traits, people.
Right. I love it too because I feel like Cobie has always been, she's such an amazing actor, and this is more of, we were talking about before the show started that this is definitely more a serious role, but I love that the show is still very humorous. It's still so much comic relief here and there, but it's not too much. And obviously we know her for various roles, but I think I'm super excited also because I got the chance to be at Comic-Con this year and interview some of the cast. So
I'm still not happy. I was not.
Maybe we'll have some of the cast too join us in this after show this season. That would be awesome. We're going to try our best to do that. But yeah, I love what you brought up about how it's reshaping gender roles and how it's also like we're looking at her as a character too. It's not, she's a woman. She's awesome. She's badass. But it's cool to kind of like break that glass ceiling and allow a character to not be, we're not judging her so much, we kind of know who she is, but I feel like in this season we're going to really delve into get to know who she is and really explore her past with, a lot about, her being a veteran and also her past relationship as well. So I'm super excited. And also, guys, we do have a live chat. And if you're tuning in live, we love you even more. And so just give us those questions, comments, and theories and help us because you guys are kind of like our special co-hosts as well. Right, Chae?
That is so true.
But if you're not tuning in live, that's fine as well. You can always hit us in the DMs or comment below on YouTube and let us know what you thought of the season premiere because I loved it. So why don't we get on to our first topic of really getting to know who is Dex? Dex is such a phenomenal character, obviously portrayed by Cobie Smulders. And I think that there's so much to her. We really get invested in this character, especially when we find out she has a brother, Ansel, who has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
We get to know so much about her. And even some of the fight scenes, we see flashes of her going through PTSD. So what was your process of getting to know this character in this particular episode?
I thought it was interesting watching her go through PTSD because it is such a big thing that is happening with veterans who come back from overseas and sometimes our government doesn't really know what to do with it. And so obviously she still gets a military disability check, but it's not really going towards her own health
right
at the same time. and you can see her struggle very hard, and she's trying to numb it. I think it's more than anything. I think she's trying to numb the flashbacks. She's trying to numb that part of herself because I feel like she's afraid to feel.
Yeah.
So she's using alcohol and the gambling and one night stands to just get her through the day.
Those are like temporary feelings of that can kind of like you said, get her through the day. It's not something that she has to really dwell on. I think the only thing that she's really dwelling on is like the fact that she is supporting her brother. Like she's almost like a single parent, to her brother. I don't know where her parents are. Maybe we'll find out exactly as to why she is support. She seems like she has a really nice house. Also, this show is in Oregon, which is such a great it's in Oregon, air quotes,
quote unquote.
More on that later.
It is set in Oregon.
More on that later. Stumptown coffee, delicious. But yeah, obviously we know she's a PI, she's a veteran. It's almost as if there was like, I'm getting the sense of there was maybe some unfinished business in regards to her past as a was she in the army?
I think so.
She was in the army. So maybe there's some unfinished business in that regards, and that's why she's taken up a PI role. So
I mean, we learned throughout this episode that I think part of the reason she also got out it was because of what happened to Benny.
More on that.
True. I mean, I feel like that was a big little Easter egg that they threw us this episode,
right?
Because of Sulin and the casino and everything, and you see those two differences, and that's a very different culture. And any reservation has its own rules, its own culture, and is very separate because it wants to be. Also, at the same time, it wants to be separate from American rules, American laws. Technically, like they have their own ways of dealing out retribution or justice.
Right.
Because like Sulin was saying, she's like, "You will work with us." She was straight faced with these cops. She just picked up her little needle and it was knitted and she was like, we're going to work together. For once, we're going to get together.
Right. That was some shade.
It was big shade and also just a statement piece of how big she is, a big deal too at the same time.
Are you talking about Sulin or
Sulin.
Dex? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How big deal she is in the town itself.
Sulin.
Yes.
Right. And obviously this is... Sulin is Benny's mother.
Yes.
Right. Benny's
she
passed
is the
away.
head of the family.
So I think that going back to Dex is a character who even brought up in this episode that she felt like she wasn't good enough for her son, Benny.
Yes.
During the relationship, and Benny ended up marrying someone else.
I'm assuming another person in the reservation itself. Yeah.
And to have Nina, obviously. So there's so much baggage with that and dealing with, the man you loved, his mother, and how that mother is enlisting you to find Nina. So it's so many layers that really complicates this whole ordeal. And I think that Dex is dealing with it. Honestly, to me, I don't know if I could do that. I feel like she's dealing with it with, I know it was a really hard decision for her to like, yes, I will accept the mission of tracking down Nina.
Well, one, she kind of didn't have a choice, and when her brother says, we're going to be okay, she's like, okay, I'm being prideful. I think that's also one of her things. Dex is very prideful, and sometimes your pride gets in the way of a lot of things, and at that point, you need to eat, your brother needs to eat. Pride needs to go out the window, baby. Take the job. Pay your debt off. Let that $11K go somewhere else. So it's not in your own pocket.
Right.
I mean, it was a nice deal. Your debt's paid. You get $1,000 for expenses. Put it towards your what did she throw away? She's like, this is for the TV and the power bill when she was playing in the casino.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Because she needed an 8, but she got a 7. And the guy's just like, are you sure you want to do that? She's like, yep, we're just gonna, here's the light bill, here's the electricity bill,
And before we move on, another character that I wanted to bring up was Gray, which was Jake Johnson, portrayed by Jake Johnson. Shout out to him. Voice of Spider-Man. That's how I know him.
Which he loves that fact.
Some people know him as someone from New Girl, which I have no experience with. But anyways, Gray is a character who kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to immediately think of Gray as a romantic love interest to her, Dex. It's so easy to do that because I feel like that's such a heteronormative concept. To be like, oh, man, woman, together. But really, like, I think this show, like, as Chae brought up, is like trying to like, no, we don't think like that just because we have these particular genders assigned to these characters. That doesn't mean we're going to ship them automatically. But I think...
actually disagree.
What are you talking about?
I feel like,
wait, can I finish?
No, go ahead.
Well, to me, Gray is like almost as if like another family member to the two, Ansel and Dex. And so he seems to be like a big brother role to Ansel when Dex isn't able to support when Dex isn't able to support Ansel. You know, she has to go on her PI missions and whatnot. You were saying you disagree. How dare you?
Oh, okay. I disagree in the fact that I think Gray, while he might act dad-ish like she was commenting on this episode, he has feelings for her.
You think so?
But he's been so friend-zoned. He's in that mentality of just, it's better to be in her life the way I am right now than to hope that she'll finally see me as that person she could actually have a relationship to. Because I also feel like in Gray's case, he always feels like he's facing the ghost of Benny.
Okay.
Like, that is a big thing for him. I will always be in Benny's shadow because you haven't dealt with it and you're not moving past it. He's something that's hovering over you like a cloud that will not go away.
That's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, it sucks for him though that if that is the case, because he seems like he's so invested in just being there for the family, and Dex, to me in this episode, didn't seem like she was reciprocating any, like, she cares about Gray, but she seems like she's not romantically interested in him at all.
But I think it's also because she hasn't, like he says, you're not dealing with anything. You're.
Well, she's dealing with PTSD.
She's dealing with. No, I'm saying, but she's not dealing with PTSD. She has it, and she understands she has it,
but
she's not
dealing with. She's going through the process of it. That's what I meant.
I feel like it's more she's not dealing with it. She's not trying to process it at all. She wants. I feel like in a way she's punishing herself.
She's not treating it. Is that?
I feel like more or less use that word. She's not treating herself to the betterment of herself.
Right.
She's not trying to get better. I think she's punishing herself because she blames herself.
For Benny.
And I mean, it also doesn't help that Sue also blames her in a way.
Right. Sue just kind of looks down on her.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, let us know what you think of the topic of Benny and Dex and all these complicated relationships. There's even more characters that we're going to talk about as we talk about the main plot line of this episode. But before that, I just want to take the time to thank you guys for letting us be the ESPN of TV Talk. It means so much to us because we love talking about all different types of show. We have multiple channels, Chae, right?
We have so many.
Drama. We have reality television competitions, animation,
comedies,
sci-fi, and superheroes. One of my favorite shows. Yes, totally. One of my favorite genres and channels as well. From AfterBuzz, and Chae and I have history. We've done some shows together. A little show called Runaways.
Yeah, we're coming back for season 3, and we're so excited.
Stay tuned. This winter, we're coming back.
We are coming back, and we might have special guests and more giveaways. You
totally.
Never know.
But yeah, we really appreciate you guys tuning in to the live chat or just commenting with us. Even when the show ends, it doesn't end here. You can give us a download. You know, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, and of course, we're obviously on YouTube. But like, share, subscribe, give us, the 5-star rating on iTunes. We would love that. And if you do, we will shout you out and show some love for showing love to us. But until then, thanks again for letting us be the ESPN of TV Talk. We love you, AfterBuzzers.
We do.
I don't know why.
We love you, Apple. I can't even say it. We love you, AfterBuzzers. I don't know what else to say. Apple. I blame you.
Apple Buzzers. Oh my gosh. That's the wrong studio, Chae. Apple Buzzers.
You the one who said Apple Podcast. That's why I threw it. That's why I threw me off.
I just wanted to be concrete, okay, Chae?
Cool.
But let's be more concrete with this narrative in this episode, which was tracking down Nina. So obviously we already brought up the fact that Sue Lin enlists the help of Dex because Dex is just failing miserably as a gambler, and I think she owes Sue Lin like $11,000.
Yeah, she owes her $11,000.
How do you let her?
Well,
how do you let her back into the casino? Come on, Sue.
I mean, I think it's also partly because of her relationship with Benny, 1, and then 2, it's also part of like that's how you You need gamblers. I'm sorry.
guess.
When you have a casino, you need gamblers. And the one thing gamblers should also understand, though, the house always wins. Let's just be real clear. The house always wins.
I love how you said that. That was beautiful.
Thank you. But it's true. I mean, I don't gamble. I've seen people do it, but I never understood the compulsion for it. I mean,
thrill.
Who doesn't need easy money? I would love some easy money in my life. Mm-hmm. I can use it right now. If I'm not going to gamble away the little money I do have, I don't really think so. But.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to the thrill that you brought up about her kind of like compensating for something that she's not particularly treating. That's that thrill. Like even if it lasts for 15 seconds, and even if she loses, it's still that thrill, that roller coaster almost to kind of like feel something in a sense, because maybe she's not feeling something, or maybe she might find that in a sexual act with.
Detective
Hoffman. Ooh.
I'm just yeah.
We're
gonna get to that.
Okay. But I do want to just applaud Dex for going through with it and tracking down Nina. And
I loved it.
The fight scene with Nina.
Well, no, when she went to her friend first, and then she like drove around a corner, and then she snuck up behind the girl and just jacked her phone. That was my favorite part. That was literally, I would do some sneaky stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you thought you got me, right? Okay, cool. Well, I'll be right back.
I just love the fact that when she finally got Nina into the car, and then, well, I guess, yeah, I like the fact that she was successful in getting Nina in the car, but also I love the fight scene, the struggle. I know she wasn't successful in this predicament, but I love the fact that this show is like doing these crazy fight scenes in this choreography, but also incorporating humor into it sometimes, because the music in the background, it was like lighthearted and fun. Like you especially really loved the music, the soundtrack.
I can appreciate some old 80s. I really could.
I will say I got some mad Robin Sparkles vibes in this episode real quick, because at one point Tiffany, I think We're Alone Now, was playing. And do you watch How I Met Your Mother? It's fine if you don't. But anyways, Cobie plays Robin, and she played a character that is like Tiffany, who was like a super pop star in the mall.
Oh, yeah.
And so Tiffany,
I remember that episode, yes.
Robin Sparkles. And then Tiffany was just like that. Robin Sparkles was basically Tiffany or Debbie Gibson. But anyways, back to Stumptown. I don't know if anyone else felt that way, but I just want to put that out there.
Oh, what I thought was interesting about that scene. So you tape this girl to the steering wheel like this is rush hour. And then as you get attacked, you say run. Well, what key am I going to run? You ain't leaving me with no survival, okay? You left me chained.
She said run when she got free, though, because one of the guys got her out of the car.
No, she said run before the dude even got to the other side of the car. And he knows that she was chained because she tried to get out, but she's like... I
have to rewatch that scene.
She's like, I am attached to I'm a try to run, but what key would you like me to do that, ma'am?
I have to rewatch that scene.
But for real.
Do you want to rewatch a scene with Hoffman, played by Michael Ealy?
Can we just talk about sexy?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. He seems like, off the bat, there was some kind of like sexual tension or some kind of tension between him and Dex, clearly. And then later on, they actually end up having sex, which to me was crazy. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this interesting relationship? There's obviously like sex involved, but also they're going to be working together.
Well, I mean, it's going to be very more consultant-ish because PIs and police officers don't necessarily always get along.
Right.
Just professionally wise, they just don't get along.
Mm-hmm. Because they have two completely different ways of dealing with their craft.
Well,
their
yeah,
work.
And also because police officers, in their mind, they have badges. They're supposed to uphold the law, this, that, and the other. PIs get a little flexible with the law to get to the end result they need.
Right.
So... there is that factor. However, like I said, there was sexual tension right off the bat. I love their banter. And she was just like, I'm not going with you. I have to go do something. Bye. And then he so quick with it, I'm just going to arrest you. You have 14 warrants of unpaid parking tickets. And I'd have been like, you really just...
I love that they actually just threw that in there, the whole no strings attached relationship between the two, because in the pilot episode, like you would think that would come in, I don't know, a couple episodes down, but I think that also just shows that Dex really doesn't. It's almost if I wonder if Dex is doing this purposely, just so she can kind of like get in with like, you know, have a good relationship with the cops. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I really feel like that. Well, she called so many people apparently before she got to him. She had a whole list of people she tried to connect with, so she wouldn't have to deal with her own thoughts and be alone. And he was the last person. First of all, I need to know what time it was that you ended up at his place. For you, so maybe 2 a.m. You decide to go pick up your brother at the bar. These are the questions I have real quick, because as soon as you call somebody this late at night and they answer and they say, come on over, you're a booty call. So everybody understands what's about to happen. You did not just not let her in your house to not get some, sir.
Right. It's sex, but also I think she is using it to her benefit with her predicament, you know, finding Nina. And also that's when she found out, like, okay, there's 2 different conflicting stories. So it's like she's getting laid and she's doing her job at the same time.
Yeah, but she didn't try to. And plus he came out with the whole whopper.
It was successful, Chae. It was successful.
Then he came out with information about her. So that's how we found out that he was on leave. He wasn't even supposed to be in that Humvee. Benny wasn't supposed to be in the Humvee. He had $86 and an engagement ring in his pocket. So in my mind, I'm thinking, did you break up with your woman while you were on leave before you decided to come all the way to meet me? This is me, a viewer watching it, versus obviously her dealing with it. And she still kept the engagement ring.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm like, did the report say it had an engagement ring? Then how did I end up with the engagement ring? So I would like to know how she ended up with the engagement ring in the first place.
Well, she don't got the engagement ring anymore.
No, she got it back.
Did she?
Oh, yeah. He returned it at the bar.
Oh, okay. See, I need to rewatch this. Oh, my gosh. So much happened in this episode. It's really good.
There was a lot.
I kind of wish she didn't. I feel like she shouldn't have gotten that back, in a sense.
The dude was captured. He was going to keep it?
She needs to pawn that ring. She needs to get that money. I mean, sentimental value, okay, great, but also
Benny in her mind, it might be the only one she gets. So hey,
maybe that
keep the jury.
I don't know. Get that money to support you and your kid, your brother.
Your kid. First of all, Ansel is an amazing actor. I want to state that real quick right now. The actor who plays Ansel is incredible. I love him. I think he's so sweet.
Right, and I think he's getting work too. He's getting a lot of work. So shout out to him. Absolutely. It was a shame that I felt so bad though when Dex got captured.
I know he got loved.
And then he kind of got swerved, you know, like left alone in the parking lot. He just wanted to kick a ball and have fun. So why don't we get to that topic of the final showdown?
Okay.
You know, obviously I think Dex, I think a lot of characters in this show don't feel good enough, or they're dealing with self-worth issues. Maybe Gray, for example, he doesn't feel good enough for Dex, but then Dex didn't feel good enough for Benny. And then the whole dialogue between Michael and Dex in this whole episode was that Michael didn't feel good enough for Nina. You know, so I feel like a lot of characters are feeling like similar things.
He didn't feel good, quote unquote. He didn't feel good.
Yeah, no, totally. But like, it was obviously a fake just to like try to get money out of Sue. But that showed a lot about Dex's character, about giving this ring up to Michael to have, because he can't afford an engagement ring for Nina, even though he was lying the entire time. But Dex gave this thing, this ring that meant so much to her, has so much sentimental value, even though she never received it from Benny, but she was going to give it up. It's almost as if she was like trying to give up Benny. You know, you love something, you can let it go almost.
And like, I can give it to your daughter so she could have the story we never did.
Complicated relationships, man. But obviously Michael turned on Dex. He turned on Nina. Trifling men in this show.
I'm sorry.
I digress. And then
you trifling.
Sulin comes up. She shows up with her little red outfit, little hat thing. I was like, okay, Miss Thing with her money. I was like, okay, we already know she has money. She gives the money up to Michael in exchange for Nina. But then Dex comes in, guns a-blazing, or
with the cops following right behind her.
I love that there was this season premiere gave us so much. There were fights, there was car chases, there was Cobie Smulders getting punched in the face, decked. It was amazing. So what were your thoughts on the final showdown And obviously, you know, Dex is going to get some work ahead of her.
First of all, kidnapper is sitting here sipping some coffee, trying to taste like his origin stories and everything. It has an earthy taste. I'm thinking Ethiopian, and I'm really just. I'm like, what kind of kidnappers are you? You sound cultured. So now I'm just like, I have issues a little bit with you now for being that cultured.
That's so
and then
funny.
beat up on a woman at the same time, and then you put her in the trunk, not noticing that there's a fire extinguisher. Also, why is there a fire extinguisher in your trunk? That's for another conversation, obviously, probably.
Yeah.
But why is there? And you decided to just thrust her in here. Didn't lock her hands or something like that with a fire extinguisher. How smart are you?
Hey, people are more chill in Oregon, Portland.
Apparently.
As someone who's traveled to Oregon multiple occasions and talk about coffee, like people are very hipster there with their coffee shops. People don't go to Starbucks in Oregon. They go to like their like hole in the wall cafes. So I totally got the whole ridiculous comic relief exchange between the two lackeys from Baxter, right? They're basically Baxter.
No, they were like, this is the host. They're not with Baxter.
Oh, they were with
all.
Michael, duh. 'Cause
Yeah.
Baxter, that was another thing.
Baxter well, now that's gonna come back and bite her sometime in the future, definitely.
Because she jacked that vehicle.
I hope she she could have just returned it like outside. I would have just returned it outside and just said, hey. I would have like had somebody give you a note. Mm-hmm. Baxter, your car is outside. I'm sorry I jacked it. Bye. I mean, at least I would return it. I probably would have returned it that same night. I would have just like, I would have parked it around the corner, hopped out, and just started running. And then I would be like, bye.
That lady was mad.
Oh,
she was like, I'm your
was
buyer,
pissed.
and that woman's in my vehicle. So
Like,
maybe
who is
we
that
might be
woman?
seeing that lady too in the near distant future. But let's save that for predictions. And we have to get those predictions going because, I mean, Dex might be having a new job ahead of her, right?
Thanks to Detective Hoffman and giving her a new career aspect
And
that she didn't think about.
And a new place to stay to crash at, apparently.
One time or two, you know. I mean,
All right.
FWBs don't hurt.
But before that, we have a special segment, special top 3 segment regarding Cobie Smulders, the star of this show, who is killing it and punching her way through all these baddies. But we just want to show some love to her and her top 3 roles she's ever done. And so let's start off with Mother in a series of unfortunate events on Netflix. So this is really cool because also one of her co-stars from How I Met Your Mother, Neil Patrick Harris, he's Count Olaf, which is so cool. It's so funny that they're both in that show. Oh my gosh, on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, please do, because
Season 3 is up.
I can't believe there's already a season 3, so you could binge it. Go now and show some love to Cobie. Number 2, Maria Hill in the MCU. Ugh. How can you not love her? I know she doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but she's in so many of the MCU films, kicking so much butt.
Spider-Man.
Right. So recently, Far From Home, I love the whole bazooka scene. She's just so cool. I want more Maria Hill.
And
just
she's
saying.
in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Maria Hill.
Yeah, but also, you know, MCU, kicking butt, as always. And finally, I have to give it to Cobie in this role. You already know. No, not Robin Sparkles. Ignore the sparkle sound effect, okay? It is Robin Charbosky on How I Met Your Mother. That is top 1. That is number 1 for sure. How could any role of Cobie be more iconic? But yes, that is our top 3 from AfterBuzz of Cobie Smulders roles. Thank you. Thank you very much. She's amazing. And I'm so excited to see more serious roles from her because she's such a comedic genius entertainer. So I'm so ready for Stumptown. And hopefully season 2. I know it just started, but the future of Stumptown. So enough about me rambling, Chae. Chae, you have a special segment that you've been cooking up this entire day. Why don't you tell the good folks here at AfterBuzz TV what your special segment entails?
Hey guys, so our special segment is You Got Stumped. Love it. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of twists and turns that happen in this episode, but I feel like it's going to happen every episode throughout this season. And most of the times, I am very good at predicting what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's just...
You are really good at that.
I'm really good at it. But I will have to say there's some things that actually stumped me, and I was so happy about that. Mm-hmm. So me and Ollie are going to give you part of the episode that stumped both of us. Ollie, you can go first.
Oh, me? Oh, gosh. Well, I hope I don't steal yours. Okay, well, honestly, what stumped me, I'm still so shocked that... This is so stupid. Mine's so dumb. When Hoffman and Dex got it on, I was so shocked. That stumped me. I'm like, okay, I didn't see this coming. It's cool. It's great. No strings attached. But I was really shocked that their relationship... I expected her relationship with Hoffman to be similar to...
Gray.
No, not Gray. Gosh, I wrote it down. Where is it? Cosgrove. The other...
the lieutenant Cosgrove.
Yeah, portrayed by Cameron.
Yes.
I thought that they were just gonna be at ends. Like, I really didn't see them to have like a romantic thing until, well, it's not even romantic, a sexual thing. But it was cool that that happened. A lot of things stumped me in this episode. So what was yours?
My stumped moment was finding out that Michael was actually the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
I did not really see that coming whatsoever.
Ow.
And I was like, sir?
Right.
Who? What? And then when he pulled the gun on her after that too, and I mean, granted his hand was shaking as he did it. I'm just like, you're gonna commit murder. Cool. I love this sound. Especially because she also did an episode, Cobie Smulders did an episode of Law and Order, so I love that. But yeah, that was actually one of the things that actually stumped me this entire time. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. I'm also stumped real quick about Sue Lynn not giving all the information out about...
Oh, no. I knew that.
You did?
Only because, okay, the reason I felt that way in this episode is because I don't know that much about Indian reservations, but I know enough to know that when family's involved, they're going to do what they got to do to protect their own.
Okay, but isn't that like every family?
No, but I mean, like, they have their own different set of rules. So even though they said they were going to work with the police the first time, when it comes to her blood and that's like somebody she actually truly cares about, she was not leaving that up to the police. She was not leaving that up to the FBI. She was just going to tell everybody that she's not seeing anyone. Mm-hmm. Because that, first of all, that's suspicious. If your daughter was kidnapped, and from what we know about Sue, she is a ruthless. She might be knitting some sweaters and some socks, but she is some ruthless, okay? She a bad person. Ruthless. She ruthless. So that means she would come for you with everything she has to destroy you. It wouldn't be, it was just almost too easy that the fact that Nina was found on a road, like down the street. That's just almost too easy of a thing where she's just so calm about it. Why are you calm?
Well, it still stumped me, Chae.
That was suspicious to me.
It stumped me.
I'm glad. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying for me.
Okay, that's
her
good.
Behavior was suspicious.
I like that you're not like I'm the gullible one, and you're like the skeptic. You're like, I love it. This is a good pairing as always.
Yeah, we're awesome.
Gosh, I was gonna say something else, but I completely forgot about Sue. But yes, I do agree that she is like so tricky and she's so like on it at the same time. But I'm totally digging her. Yeah. But also, Chae, I'm also digging the fact that you might have some news for us, right?
I do.
AfterBuzz TV
I'm
News.
excited. Let's do it.
Hey guys, so my news for today was a news report from Rotten Tomatoes, and it's talking about Stumptown's Lady P.I. is like no other you've seen on TV. And after seeing this episode, I completely wholeheartedly agree. When Rotten Tomatoes spoke to Rucka about the television show, he said bringing the more rough and tumble private investigator back to TV as a woman gives Stumptown a unique flavor. When you flip gender in some of these situations, you get some really great dramatic and thematic dividends because society treats men differently than it treats women. Expectations are different. Ask any woman if her experience walking down the street alone at 2 a.m. is the same as yours. To Rucka, it's important to embrace that gender flip for all the diverse storylines it presents, while making sure gender is not the defining attribute of a character. And like real people, Rucka said, a character is what he calls an emergent organism. There are all these things, different pieces. There are the color of their hair, their education, and how they were raised, and where they were raised, and what religion they were raised in, and whether they still believe, and when they had their first kiss, and what their favorite food is, and the genders in there, he said. And don't miss her as Lady P.I. in 2019's Smulders' Dex is no Jessica Fletcher. She's vibrant, flawed, and has extensive fight training, which is true. There's a lot more to that article. You guys should check it out on Rotten Tomatoes. I just completely loved it. I love everything saying because society does treat women differently than they treat men. It's almost like Annihilation Nation. Assassination Nation. Yeah. That the creator of Euphoria did. Right. And it just shows how men, when their stuff is leaked, how they're treated. But when a woman's stuff is leaked, right, she becomes a slut. She becomes this almost pariah, social pariah in a way that you would never do. You would never become if you're a man. Right. You would never be so degraded. But for what you did as a man, if you were... The
backlash you would face.
The backlash you would face. Right. Face, which is just... We're in 2019, people. Why is this even still a conversation?
Right. And I think that's... So what's so great about media, especially in today's, where there is so many, like, female-centric roles, the glass ceiling is starting to really be broken. It's so great that we have shows like Stumptown to really reinvent roles for women and diverse roles for women, and not to just have those overly feminine roles. Not to discredit them, but like women are so powerful and they are so versatile with who they can become. Yes. As with men, men embrace your femininity. But yeah, I love that. I'm so excited about what this show has to offer. And it's so cool that Cobie Smulders can be a part of this show, because this show is also a adaptation of a graphic novel.
Yes, it is.
So that's really cool on that part. If you didn't know that, why don't you go check out your favorite comic book store and get yourself a copy of Stumptown.
This show is amazing. I just really can't wait to see what they do with this episode. I mean, this entire season. Because there's so many different ways it can go. And obviously, we still have a new character to meet. We meet the guy who's going to be her PI. And you've seen him in Gotham. And now he is coming all the way over to Portland from New York.
Is Gotham canceled? Is that what happened? I'm kidding.
I actually do not know.
Or is it ending? Oh.
It's ending. It didn't get canceled so much as it's actually having its final season. It's going to get a nice run through of being final. So, I mean, it's a nice progression. But I really think Cobie Smulders is going to do such an amazing job with this character, and also bringing to light that female-driven, strong female lead characters are needed.
Right, absolutely.
Point blank, we need more of this because women are profitable. Get with it, people.
Absolutely. I love it, Chae.
Thank you.
I literally can't add anything because you said it just perfectly. But Chae, you have to help me with predictions real quick.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up soon.
Yes.
But Chae, what is going to happen on Stumptown season 1?
Quick predictions that are going to happen this season. There's going to be more sex between Hoffman and Dex. It's going to be definitely FWB situations happening. I think Dex is really going to have to come to terms with her PTSD. She's going to have to deal with it and to figure out how to be a PI in her way, in her own, who she is. Because I feel like because she cares a lot, that also could get her into trouble because sometimes caring leads you down the wrong path. Right. So it's just going to depend on who she is, because I feel like we know who she is, but I don't think maybe she actually knows who she is now, 11 years out of the military, and where that's going to lead her.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and the prediction in the preview, we saw that the whole thing was that her flaw is that she cares, and I think that she's hiding the fact that she cares. And I'm really afraid of Ansel. Like, I hope he's okay. I hope he doesn't get into trouble. I feel like I think she really needs to learn to embrace the fact that she cares and to really find herself, because I feel the last time she really cared about someone other than Ansel was Benny, and I think that's why she has all these walls up, and I think maybe a character like Hoffman could maybe help break those down, surprisingly, or even Gray. You never know. But I'm really excited about her new job, But until then, you let us know your predictions, your thoughts about this season premiere, and what's going to happen. Chae, where can the good people find you on social media?
You guys can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm your host, Ollie Drennan. You can find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. And check out my Stumptown Comic-Con interviews along with Amy Cassandra on AfterBuzz TV Red Carpet channel. Until then, we'll see you next week for episode 2 of Stumptown.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.